The first time I took the CTS exam, I didn't pass. I scored a 286, which was not bad, but still disappointing, especially after putting in so much time studying. But once I got over that initial disappointment, I realized something important. I didn't need to start over, I just needed to study differently. So today, I'm explaining what the CTS actually is, whether it's helpful for AV technicians, and what I'm doing to change my study habits to prepare to take the exam again. Hey everyone, my name is Olivia, and I am a full time AV technician who also works in live production. And I make content for people who are interested in building a career in the AV industry. So if that sounds like you, keep watching because we're about to get into the CTS. So the CTS stands for Certified Technology Specialist. It's a professional AV certification administered by AVIXA, and it's designed to demonstrate that you understand the general knowledge and processes used across the audiovisual industry. So that includes creating AV solutions based on clients' needs, helping implement those solutions, supporting the AV systems in those solutions, and servicing and troubleshooting them in the long term. And one thing I didn't fully appreciate before studying for this exam is that the CTS is not only about memorizing equipment. It doesn't really mention equipment that much at all. You're not just identifying microphones and projectors, cables, and signal types, but you're learning how an AV project moves from the initial conversation with the client all the way through design, installation, testing, handoff, and ongoing support. It's also the foundation for more specialized certifications like the CTSI, which focuses on installation, or the CTSD, which focuses on AV system design. But the general CTS is where you build that broader understanding of the AV project process. So, why is it helpful? The real big question is, do you absolutely need it to work in AV? No. There are plenty of highly skilled AV professionals who have built their careers through hands on experiences. Passing an exam also doesn't automatically mean that someone can just walk into a room and solve every technical problem, because it goes both ways. I still think the CTS can be extremely helpful, especially if you're early in your career, because first, it gives you a structured way to fill in your knowledge gaps. You might be great at operating a soundboard, setting up events, running cameras, or troubleshooting equipment, but have less experience with system design, project documentation, networking, construction coordination, or even AV math. And I hate math, so I'm with you right there. It also exposes you to parts of the industry that you may not have encountered in your current job. Second, it gives employers a recognizable measurement of your foundational knowledge. Avixa reports that many firms or companies prefer or require a CTS level technician for higher level positions. And third, it can help you decide where you want your career to go. While studying, you may realize that you're more interested in installation or design or project management or live production or any other part of AV that you haven't considered before. For me, the biggest benefit has been gaining the language for things that I was already doing at work and learning how those individual tasks fit into a bigger AV project cycle. Okay, so let's talk about what happened the first time I took the test. So, when I prepared my first time, I was studying, but I wasn't really studying strategically. I spent a lot of time reading and reviewing information that made the material feel familiar, but familiarity is not the same as being able to retrieve and apply the information under pressure. Then I took the exam and I scored a 286. I was close enough to know that I had developed a real foundation, but the result also showed me that there were still gaps in how I understood and applied the material. So this time, my goal isn't to reread everything and hope more of it sticks. It's to turn the areas that I struggled with into the areas that I understand the best. So let's talk about what I'm doing differently to study for my next attempt. First big change is that I'm studying by domain instead of treating the book like a long reading assignment. I've divided the material into 4 areas: creating AV solutions, implementing AV solutions, supporting AV system operation, and servicing AV solutions. That gives every study session a specific purpose. The second change I'm also doing is active recall. So after reading over a section, I close the book and I try to explain the concept in my own words. I'll write down what I don't remember and I'll answer questions or try to answer questions without looking at my book and pretend that I'm teaching a new technician. But if I can't recognize the answer or I can't explain why I understand that it's correct, then that tells me that I haven't mastered that subject yet. Third change I'm doing is space repetition. Instead of trying to study something all at once and moving on, I'm revisiting it over and over several days or weeks, particularly topics that I don't understand as well or weaker topics that keep flowing in rotation. This allows me to study in shorter sessions without constantly forgetting what I covered earlier, which is especially important because I'm balancing work and content creation and healthy living and everything else happening in my life. And my fourth new practice is practicing application, not just definitions. So the CTS questions require you to understand processes and make decisions based on a scenario. So instead of only asking, what does this term mean? I'm also asking questions like, what should the technician do next? What should I do next in this scenario? Or who is responsible for this part of the project? What information needs to be documented? What is the best solution for the client's actual needs? My fifth change also is giving AV math, even though I hate it, consistent attention. I'm not saving all the formulas for the end. I'm just practicing them in smaller doses so I can understand when to use each equation and not try to memorize it all at once, because that's not going to work. And finally, I am tracking my mistakes. Whenever I fail a practice question, I write down why I missed it. And then I ask myself, did I understand the concept? Did I miss a key word? Did I miss a stage in the project? Or did I just simply second guess myself? That mistake log helps me identify some patterns that I tend to do and also help me correct those patterns so that way I can strengthen my studying ability and therefore strengthen my knowledge the next time. So, not passing the exam the first time was disappointing, but it gave me valuable information. So now I know what the testing experience feels like, how to prepare differently, and I'm also able to come in with more confidence for the next time I take it. So, if you're studying for the CTS right now, remember that it's not a replacement for hands on experience. The real value from this exam is being able to combine what you know theoretically from the book while also being able to apply it in real life. I'll continue documenting my CTS journey, including my study routine, the resources that I'm using, and what happens when I take the exam again. So, if you're also studying or you're interested to follow my journey, let me know in the comments what questions you have, what parts of the study process is challenging for you. Subscribe if you want more beginner AV content, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.